Well, hey everybody, this is the vlog of many things. I am Don,
And I'm Tom.
and we're here to talk about breaking the law in handcuffs.
Well, to be fair, I was actually working on a Wizards of the Coast story, and
Oh, then you found out I was arrested, right?
I come home from work and I found out that there was an arrest warrant for you in Texas.
Man, I barely made it out on Bad Mike's black jet. Donated by the CIA, courtesy of a Blackwater employee out of North Carolina.
That was a Blackwater jet. Oh, wait. No, Constanzas? What do they call themselves now?
Shh, we don't talk about them anymore, Tom. It's secret. All right, for those of you who do not know, in fact, let me real quickly get a screen up real quick. Sorry, we're not prepared. Me and Tom were talking about very important things before this video started. Right, Tammy?
I forget what they were.
Yeah, okay.
Dawn and my wife were ragging on me.
I was not. I was being nice.
I completely was.
Tammy was. I wasn't. I suggested to Tom cocaine, but he wouldn't listen to me. So
Tammy was giving me the biz. Yeah.
all right. This is what. Okay, let me back up here real quick. Boy, that's big. Earlier today, I'm out with my wife enjoying a nice Coney dog lunch.
I'm at work.
And all of a sudden, my phone starts going bing, 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 bing. I'm getting PMs from like a half dozen people going, are you in jail? Other ones were like, are you in Texas? And I'm like, what's going on? Jail, Texas? What's happening here, you know? And then Eric Tenkar, thank you, Eric, if you're watching, I appreciate this, messaged me and said, hey, boom, you know, and David Floor messaged me and said, hey, boom, and they showed me this. Evidently, this was posted on Dave Simpson from Gamers on Games page. It said, do a story on North Texas RPG Con. Yesterday, police showed up to arrest Don from Wizard Tower Games and he fled. No one knows where he's at right now. Bad Mike and Aaron Tenkar are hiding the story.
I thought there was also some post about them hiding me as well. I
don't know. I guess the warrant didn't come true for you like it did me.
Yeah, well, so just for the record, I want to state I did not go to North Texas Con.
Neither did I.
I am not hiding out in Bad Mike's room. Okay. And
well, we don't know that for sure because you're using a virtual green screen. How do we know where you're at?
Yeah. Oh, my word.
Yeah, that's my room. So I have a kiddo graduating from high school. Last one graduating from high school on Monday, Boston Latin Academy. And so we're real excited to go see her. And
my youngest graduated last week.
So, yeah.
Kid free.
Well, no, not kid free because
you know what I mean. They're still around, but
laundry and eat all the food and
yeah.
And put gas in my car, change my oil, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that kind of thing. I agree.
So
basically what ended up happening here is this. So I found out that this individual not only posted on Dave Simpson's, he posted on Isgrim Creations, Rod Rabel's page, your page, my page, and a couple of others. There was like a total of like 7 pages that I know of at this point. Now,
and this was VG
APMI 1895.
Yeah, I actually refer to him as the JJ man.
Sounds right.
May I?
Yes.
You see, what do you do with VG APMI?
Real quick, I just got a PM from Cinder Shadow.
Okay.
Cinder Shadow, if you're watching this, thank you very much. Let me go to the comments real quick. Oh, there it is. Cinder Shadow said, I got this on my comments too. Yeah, he's posting it all over, Cinder Shadow. Appreciate you letting us know. And by the way, welcome to the show. Thank you for tuning in. I do sub to you, by the way. And then Local 433 Gumby says, Tom can now come work with me since he's been arrested. Well, a couple things here is like Cinder Shadow. I noticed there's kind of like, I'm figuring this out.
I just want to state, I have not been arrested since I was 19 years old and stupid.
Your screen is going to fall.
Is it really?
Yep. Nope, there
well, real quick, there's kind of a, and Cinder Shadow may find this interesting, and I know you and Eric will. If you take a look at who he posted on, Remember earlier we're like, why would he post on Dave Simpson's page? He's posting on people who have a vlog following, hoping that they'll pick it up and run the story without validating or checking it. That's
Yeah.
what this
Oh, yeah.
person's doing. But to clarify something, number one, no, I was not in Texas, folks. Number two, no, I don't have a warrant for my arrest. Number three, no, I did not flee North Texas RPG Con last night.
Well, I mean, how do we really know you don't have a warrant for your arrest in Texas? How much time have you been spending in Texas this past year?
Well, not much. I mean, I don't think I've even been there.
In a year? 2 years?
Well, you know what? I think matter of fact, you know, I gotta admit, I was in Texas at one time. When I was a wee little boy, right after my dad retired from the military, we went to Arkansas and into Texas for about a month before we moved to Isfahan, Iran. My dad worked for Bell Helicopter before the kingdom fell.
So
I might have done something when I was 5 years old, and that's what they got a warrant for me on.
50 years ago, you did something, and finally the Texas Rangers are catching up with you with an arrest warrant.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense.
I was a notorious little kid,
everything
man.
up.
Cinder Shadow says, okay, looking at who they're following, they have MTG and D&D common. Cinder Shadow, this is basically a ghost account we determined. They follow pretty much a very, very close-knit group of people, and it's people that was on his original list. That, or not his original list, let me back up. There was an original list put out and leaked by individuals that were associated with new TSR. There was like a spreadsheet of enemies. If you take a look at the spreadsheet of enemies and you take a look at this account, they follow largely the same people. So,
right.
But basically what they did is they tried to create chaos. They were hoping someone would pick it up and run with it. Rod told me that from Wable Instagram creation, he deleted it. I went ahead. I just outright now banned the guy. The guy's banned off my page.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that he commented on Tim Kask's page. Not this, but something to the effect of accusing Tim Kask of being fired, which he was not from TSR. Just the typical attacking everybody
It's
on
the
it.
same thing all the time. It's the same.
Hold on a minute. Local 430 Gumby says, you guys stop getting arrested. I have to start a 4-hour drive now. Thank you for the LOL. Hey, drive safe. Okay.
If I had $1 for every time I was arrested, served papers, got sued,
SUDE.
Yeah. Like Dawn, I would take you and your wife out and my wife out for a nice steak dinner. I would. All the times that has happened,
because eating a steak dinner is like the flex.
Well, I mean, you guys can have steak. I'm probably gonna have scallops or shrimp or something.
I'll have lobster.
Or lobster, yeah. Well, yeah, but we're not having lobster in Michigan. We're having.
Oh, that's
it's got to be lobster here in Maine. I'm kind of elitist about that. I'm from Maine. I only do New England lobster. If I'm slumming it, it's Massachusetts lobster. But yeah, no.
Well, Cinder Shadow said, number one, earlier that a few seconds ago, he's actually on that list too. And then also he moved over from YouTube over to here.
Well, I think Cinder Shadow, if I'm not mistaken, covered the TSR dumpster fire.
That's probably why he's on the list.
Early on. So I think that's if I'm not mistaken, Cinder Shadow can correct me because I remember checking him out and liked him, but maybe I didn't subscribe to him because I don't think I've seen him in my feed lately, and we need to fix that because he's actually pretty good with his reporting, and I like his content. So by the way, everybody, if you go by and check out Cinder Shadow, YouTube, it's well worth it. It's another great YouTuber covering RPGs.
And the thing about Cinder Shadow is he talks the truth. He doesn't make up BS.
Yeah.
He talks facts.
He's very reasoned, and I may not necessarily agree with him on a point, but he's thought it out and he's very reasoned, and I like that. Yeah, yes, he did. He's saying it right here. Yes, I did. And Cal Vanoni says no one's going to believe it's POS. Yeah, no. So actually today we kind of had one of those days where I've been moonlighting, doing some tutoring to some extra scratch, and so I came home late from that and running errands, and I was like, oh Don, man, we didn't talk. What are we doing? And then I found out about all this arrest warrant stuff, and I said, well, let's do a potpourri, and let's talk about just basic news, because I was actually working on a WotC story. And
well, sorry about that. I was plugging in my backup drive because I actually want to show something if I can pull it up. But
sure,
the sad part about all this is just more and more BS, more and more, this diatribe of crap that this guy spews out. And what he doesn't realize is, have your laugh, because, all this is being documented, and sooner or later, someone's going to take this seriously. And if you're doing this and you're chatting with other people, planning it and coordinating, that's called conspiracy. Mm-hmm. And the big C word is not something you want on a criminal charge sheet against you.
And who would the conspiracy be involved with? It would be involved with cronies who are not as committed to your welfare as to their own welfare.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to speculate who I think it is or who these cronies might be.
Yeah. It broke me, man. File out with
but the quality of cronies would be people who are Nazis, people who idolize Jefferson Davis, maybe. These kinds of people totally flip on you so fast.
You mean guys who post on on Twitter all their pro-Nazi content, then try to delete it and say something hacked by
that exact kind of person.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. You know what's a little piece of irony I discovered this week?
What's that?
Was that, and my brother had found this for me. It was a letter to the editor written by one North Carolina troll, a.k.a. I can actually say it because it's published in the newspaper. He wrote the letter in his name. Justin Lanassa wrote this letter, and he was complaining about the mayor of his town. And I had seen it and read it and thought nothing of it. This is like I don't know, 3 years ago. So my brother had found it and he sent it to me. Well, it turns out that this letter to this editor was sent to a black newspaper for African.
Yes.
So here you have a mostly white guy writing a letter, which they published, and actually it must have been edited because there's no spelling mistakes.
You talk, I'm looking for something pertinent.
So here is this guy who has championed and defended and kept employed a Nazi game designer and author who has written books that idolized himself.
Still works with him at his recent game project.
Had a character in there called Duke Justin, and
Lord Justin.
Was it Lord Justin or Duke?
Lord.
Well, I didn't read the book because I wasn't going to waste my money, but yeah. So one of them was a Duke George, Lord George, and one of them was a Duke, one was a Lord, and it was a total bromance. Like, all right, guys, just sleep together, get it over with. And so you have this mostly white guy who calls himself a mostly white guy. Wrote a letter to an all-black newspaper. Somebody who is fine with a Nazi, he's fine with anti-trans, he's fine with racism, and just the irony of him writing a all-black African American newspaper is like, yeah, here, publish my letter to the editor. It's just hysterically funny. And I had totally missed that back 3 years ago when Tim sent me the link. And it just came up and I was like, oh my God, I saw this, but I didn't think anything of it. And
it's okay to be self-righteous, but at least cover your tracks a little bit. I mean, there's just like it's just like all over the place.
Well, he should have like used an alt name for that letter, but no, he signed his name to it. And
we all know about him contacting my convention organizing location under his own name. Justin Lanassa did, public record because I made it public because he wanted to go ahead and do it. And
Right.
then less than 9 hours later, anonymous emails began.
Right.
And you have to really key. You have to. The funny thing about this is, when you look at the email from Justin, there's a simple word misspelled, and that simple word is misspelled in every single one of the anonymous emails too. Consistency.
You don't say. Imagine that. That's one of those.
I tell you what. The more I'm pushed, if you notice, the more I talk, and the more I'm. I'm not joking. I have a folder open right now, and my folder size is 848 gigabyte.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And it's all oriented towards one thing. And I'm digging through it now because I want to show something that I think, screw it, is just pertinent.
Did you
Because
find it yet, or should I keep
no,
spinning?
keep yapping. I'm almost.
Right, so,
it's a lot of stuff.
News about Wizards of the Coast. I was looking
Yes.
at. I was following the whole, headlines like the AI of Vecna, which I thought that's a good headline. And this whole thing with Wizards, because what's the latest Wizards stepping in the cow pie thing? Jeez, it's only been 6 hours. There must be something with them. So, I was really looking for something a little more tangible that somebody else wasn't covering, and I made this little discovery. When you go on Wizards' Twitter account, the last post is from September 22nd, 2023. Like, they're so engaged with their customers. But we know that they don't really like their customers. They're just trying to fleece their customers anyways.
Well, it makes no sense that they would not have any type. I mean, they're not even tweeting about upcoming product. They're not even doing anything like that, which is really weird.
They're so engaged with their customers that they're not even talking about this 6E forever D&D 5E 5.5 whatever it is. They're not touting the new Vecna material that they're doing. Nothing, absolutely nothing. It's pathetic. I mean, in fact, the last post is about a Hasbro product that, which I get that they would, pimp out their parent company's products. But wow, I mean, how not engaged are you with the customer base that you haven't posted in like 6 months? I mean, honestly, I'm posting every single month on Twitter, and I don't even do Twitter very much, but I post a new video every single month.
Yeah, I don't do much Twitter. I think I'm in the right folder now. What I'm looking for is the list. The infamous list.
The which list?
The list of names.
Oh, the enemies list.
Yes.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah. Everybody that PGA PMI, Vijay Man, may I please? And the reason why it's
that's him. I'm just
the Vijay Man, may I please?
Pete, please may I?
Please may I? A PMI, please may I? Is really because this is the kind of person that they gotta keep their wife happy lest they get beat up. Oops.
Yeah, I heard there was a person that got his butt whooped and then his old lady arrested.
Yeah, on a public street, no less. Got smacked around by his wife.
I think it's
that's
there it is. Hold on a minute. Let me go ahead and share screen. Bum, 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 bum. All right. So this is the infamous haters list. There's Luke Gygax, who is on the payroll of Watts. He spread rumors of him giving wife to whatever to everyone. Eric is on there. Tom Verl, you're number 3. How did you rate number 3?
I don't know who that name is at number 3 because that's not how I spell my name.
Well, whoever they are, they run Tabletop Tep Room.
Tep Room, yeah.
There's
not
Tim,
me. Not me.
Meg the Sorceress, Avenger Satanist, Gamers on Games, Jason Elliott, Kim Winch, and Shadazar, Wonder Lure 40. Who's Wonder Lure 40? Oh, never mind. Heidi Gygax, Jason Elliott, Kim Winson, Shadowzar, Wonder Lure, Heidi Gygax, Cinder Shadow. You're on there, yeah. You are traitor to TSR, trusted him, and you are woke, Cinder Shadow. Wow. That's quite the thing. Michael's on there. Sorry.
So
What's that?
again, we have Logan Hovermail, and you can look at the quote.
You know what? This channel is not monetized, and I want to address this quote, and I'm going to say it because something's very important here. He puts down tranny woke garbage. Let me tell you something. I'm going to warn everybody right now that if you got a problem with people who are transgender,
you can go Logan Hovermail, haven't you?
Yeah, yes. You can unlike my business page immediately if you got a problem with transgender people. Because that type of crap is just this comment right there alone explains it. Oh, hold on. Cinder Shadow says, yeah, they tried to get me to sign an NDA, and I said no. Hey, Cinder Shadow, quick question for you. They tried to get me to do one, but then he went ahead and just counterfeited my signature when he needed it. Was yours spelled correctly? It didn't have somebody else's name in it? Because my original one had somebody else's name in it also.
Oh.
Just curious. Scott Griffin, I'm on there. And then Leeson's on there. So
Scott Griffin, isn't he the guy that was actually looking to purchase the Dungeon Hobby Shop?
Griffin was friends at the time with Ernie Gygax. Griffin is a decorated police officer who was injured in the line of duty, so he's no longer a police officer.
Mm-hmm.
And Scott, from what I understood, the story was Scott went ahead, let Ernie know, and they were kind of planning on buying the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum. Griffin had financing almost solidified. Ernie runs to Justin, tells Justin about it, and then Ernie screws Scott Griffin. Yes, you did, Ernie, if you're watching this. And he goes ahead and jumps in bed with Justin Lanasa, and they take it out from underneath Griffin, which is about as dirty as you can get.
Well, by the same token, you jump in bed with somebody like Justin, and
Ernie. But the thing is, Ernie's gotten this big, massive pass because, he's Ernie. But Cinder Shadow says no. Hovermail sent it to me when he was blinded. Yeah. So, the thing here is that what you've got is you've got an individual online. He's going after everybody, and don't make no mistakes. This isn't just me. He's went after Tom. He mentions Tom. He mentions Eric and Tim Kask and Jim Wampler. He's got a whole laundry list of people, and just crazy stuff.
Well, let me
parasocial audio. Go ahead.
This time when he sent Cinder Shadow a NDA, I was at a baby. What was that thing at Sugarloaf? That was
retreat that I went
to? The retreat you went to. Yeah, Tammy had a professional.
I remember
retreat.
that. You went with her.
Yeah, well, I go along with her because
Yeah.
She goes to these things and people lecture and talk. I go sit in the hot tub and have alcohol, which is it's a tough job. Somebody's got to do it. Well, I'm sitting there in the room thinking, when am I going to go, pour a glass of wine and go down to the hot tub? And I get this message from this gamer in Massachusetts I know, and he's like, these guys want to get in touch with you. They're restarting, TSR. They're doing, and I'm like, what? TSR, Star Frontiers, what? And so I'm trying to contact them, and because I'm getting these messages saying, hey, these guys want to talk to you. And so I jump through hoops to get in touch with them, and then I get we'll call you when we're ready.
Yeah.
Thinking, what the hell was that? So then Michael Hovermail gets involved in the mix, and I start having conversations with him. And he's like, oh, yeah, we want to have you do this, but we got to have you sign an NDA. I'm like, all right, fine, give me an NDA. I want to be involved in anything Star Frontiers because I'm a little bit worried that somebody else might not, honor the spirit of the game. And so I'm like, hey, if you're redoing this, I am an experienced writer. I got 200 magazine articles for fan magazines. And, so I'm trying to get involved. and they're stringing me along. Oh, we got to get you an NDA. Meanwhile, I find out from you eventually later on that that Justin is like, oh, this guy Tom Stevens and Tom Veralt, they think they own the game, or and he's running me down behind. Meanwhile, Michael's going like, "Oh yeah, we really want you involved. We got to get you an NDA," and they kept stringing me along. I'm like, how long before this NDA shows up? How long does it take to prep an NDA? So while he was getting people NDAs like Cinder Shadow and others, he's telling me, "Oh, you got to sign an NDA before we can tell you anything.
Yeah,
we can give you any private information." And I'm like, "All right, fine." But they keep stringing me along.
They kept stringing along. Yeah, that's what they do.
And I figured out I'm being lied to. But he had already made up his mind because he wanted Tom Stevens and myself. We were running the Frontier Explorer. He wanted us to just become his magazine. And
that's how he operated, though. Everything was based on reason. But real quick, Parasocial audience says, what happened to the TSR trademarks in bankruptcy? It would be tragic if Watsy got the back. Then Cinder Shadow said this. The trademark is on hold because of the bankruptcy. Actually, no, it's not, Cinder Shadow. Wizards of the Coast has entered into a written agreement with the bankruptcy trustee. And part of the agreement is Wizards of the Coast is paying $15,000. Yep. And what is happening is that revolves the trademark dispute. Wizards of the Coast is getting back all their trademarks now for that fee. And as part of the agreement, they are now free to pursue the countersuit, but removing TSR, but they can still pursue the countersuit if they want, from what I understand, against Justin Lanasa and the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum.
There we go.
Parasocial says, I'd love to see some TSR merch. The problem with that is this. Wizards of the Coast owns now the TSR formally because of the bankruptcy agreement. And I'm going to tell you right now, anybody who wants to get that much balls and start selling merch that's owned by that has TSR on it, good luck, because Watsy's, I don't think, is going to tolerate none of this nonsense anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They try to bribe you to interview Ernie. That's what they did with everybody. I mean, they tried to use. Ernie was a needed element in this because by using the Gygax name, that was a form of legitimacy that they thought. Calvin only says, I have my old RPGA pin made by Jim Ward back when it was TSR. Ooh, keep that. That's a great job. Or you can just send it to me and I'll gladly go ahead and take care of it for you.
Yeah. Cal, you can color me envious.
Yep. Cinder Shadow says, I guess $15K would be cheaper than legal fees. Well, what the $15K does is, you're right. It solidifies them getting the trademarks that were in dispute, but also then frees up the bankruptcy freeze, their stay, if you will, and it'll allow the countersuit to continue regarding Justin Lanasa personally, I believe, and also the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum.
Yeah.
But now I guess there's more legal issues because I guess Justin has charged his wife with domestic violence.
Yes.
And then Justin is being charged with something about paying tax on alcohol or something.
Not paying tax, possession, and possibly intent to sell alcohol.
I don't know.
So I mean, it smells like it's moonshine. So maybe he bought moonshine from somebody, transported it to his house. Let
me take a look here. Let me do this. This is what we know because this is public record. And real quick, just before I post this, I want to make sure everybody understands something here. What I'm getting ready to show you on this screen is public record. It is readily available from the New Hanover County Sheriff's Department, and this is a public search. This has no private information or information that's not public. And that is exactly what evidently is going on with Justin. Possess and sell non-tax paid alcoholic beverage.
Yeah.
So whatever that means, I don't know.
Somebody online said domestic violence and moonshine. How much more white trash can you get?
And I do want to say one thing real quick. I apologize about me chewing hard candy. I did not know my mic was picking it up. So that's me chewing a watermelon Jolly Rancher. My apologies.
All right, all
Tom's,
right.
Tom's on PM. You
Going,
dumbass. Quit chewing the hard candy.
Whatever you're chewing, stop it.
My apologies.
It's worse than ice.
I got my butt chewed by Tom. Okay, I admit it. Okay, I apologize.
I was just like, Tom, man, stop it. Knock it off.
But bottom line is this, is what we got here is this. This is something that everyone should do. In the event someone posts something negative about a person on your channel, I get it. You may not like a person. You may not find a person palatable or whatnot, but always be fair in the sense that if you're going to allow it to stay, at least make sure it's true, especially things this serious. I mean, accusing a person of having active felony warrants, fleeing from police and all that. Cinder Shadow, thank you very much. You did the right thing. Rod from Isgrim Creations, he did the right thing. Dave Johnson, of course, did not do the right thing. As of a few minutes ago, it's still up there. Or Dave Simpson, sorry, from Gamers on Games is not removing it, which I don't know why, because I tried to be nice and say, hey, remove it. It's not fair, man. And I guess he's just holding out hope that it's real. That he can...
on his
well,
page.
yeah, what did the video have that he posted earlier today? As of about 20 minutes ago, had like 9 views.
Yeah, he has like 3,000 subs and 9 views. It's because
did Eric ever run his channel through that sub checker?
I don't know, but I think we need to look into that. I believe he's paid for subs, honestly.
Yeah.
So,
Calvin, well, that would shut Justin down. The bottom line is this: is keep in mind one thing: when you have a troll, no matter who they are, what they really depend on is for you to either argue with them and give them oxygen, or B, they really depend upon you to share their misinformation. And I admit, I may not be a lot of people's favorite cup of tea. I can respect that. But I'm going to tell you something. If someone posted on my channel someone that I didn't like and it was something like that and it was not true, I wouldn't let it stand. I don't care if I like you or not. Keep it to the facts.
yeah.
You know?
I agree.
And then Calvin always says, well, Justin and wife be on a talk show now. I have no clue, but Jerry Springer's no longer online. What's that, Tom?
That's an interesting comment because there's been some supposed comments from somebody
talk about that.
Who's pretending or who allegedly could be Justin's wife, promising that she's gonna release all the dirt. And I just got thinking yesterday that, this idea of somebody promising that the dirt is forthcoming, that's a very Justin VGAPMI kind of thing, promising the dirt's coming. Oh yeah, it's coming. It's coming. And so I don't think that's actually Justin's wife that's posting.
Hard telling. Yeah, I agree.
Since her Facebook account has been locked down and you can't see it anymore.
Well, I emailed the account in question. I admit that. I emailed them and I just basically said, listen, if you have any information you want to give, I can give you my attorney's direct email. And I included my attorney's direct email in there.
Yeah.
So in case you wanted
like a woman scorn. So if you have a woman who's pretending to be upset and pissed off, abused by her soon to be ex, she's not going to go like radio silence. She's going to just blab it to the world, especially if she dropped a dime on you about moonshine.
Well,
that you were storing.
The thing that really strikes me weird about this new account that's popping up is, number one, what we do know is Erica Reich Lanasa was charged with domestic.
Right.
She probably has a lawyer. If she was smart, and she's a very intelligent woman, she probably has a lawyer. And I know what her lawyer probably told her. Don't go online bashing the guy. Don't contact him, because she probably has a PPO on her against, because it's now standard. You got they do a protection order. And she would be in violation of her bond, I think, no matter if it's PR bond or what, if she was doing stuff like this. So I think on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being definitely her, 1 being definitely not her, I think I'm going to waver on right around a 3.
No,
I think it's way low.
I think it's a 1. I also
really
emailed the account, and I haven't heard anything, and so it's BS.
Well, let's face it, we're both not the favorite cup of tea of that young lady.
Well, it's not like I ever really went and pissed in her Wheaties. I mean, come on.
Well, not her Wheaties directly.
I've pissed in Justin's Wheaties. Yes, I get that. After
Yeah.
he trolled my daughter and myself
Yep.
For
Yep.
reporting the truth about his game, that it was a D20 game, and that pissed him off. He made posts, he made stuff available that Star Frontiers New Genesis was going to be a D20 game. I reported that to the Star Frontiers community, and I suddenly got attacked and trolled. And pictures of me and my daughter with special needs on Thanksgiving were attacked. Comments from him and Yak and Dave Johnson and everybody and their cousin and all their fake alts, attacking me and my daughter.
Oh, there. I was looking through the folder just now, my big almost 1 terabyte of data, and just all the fake accounts, Mario Real, Chad's Revenge Chad.
Keep track of those.
What's that, Tammy?
No, but I mean, if I was the person creating the alts, I would have to have a massive spreadsheet because you couldn't remember all that. And like every other day, you're changing your
Well,
email.
the computer remembers your password for these things.
I know, but that's too many. Too many.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it. Well, he doesn't do it.
Well, let me tell you something how you do it. What you do is you go ahead and you make what I like to commonly refer to as the spider web. And this is my spider web. I'm not going to keep it on screen too long, but the point is I, as you and Eric both know, I love treeing everything out, because when you tree things out, you'd be surprised what comes to light. And it's amazing how when you start attaching things start making sense.
Well, it's funny you show that spider web. And I don't know where I found this. I thought it was top secret. And it was this web of organizations, like it could be the CIA is backing the secret police in Cuba. And so it was this spider web of setting up a spy plot. And I had been using it for years, and I thought it was from Top Secret. And then I looked, and it wasn't in there. And I'm like, so I have searched for this RPG that had this thing, not been able to find it. But I wrote about it in one of the fan magazines for Star Frontiers, and because Star Frontiers has all these, organizations that so you have the banker, you have the bankrolling organization, you've got cutouts, you've got other organizations they're using. And it's very much like that. It's very much this spider web of sneaky, secret kind of stuff going on.
Well, that's how you bust people like this, because like when I started mine, I just started at alpha, Justin. And then you go down and you go, okay, known screen, not ones I think. I want known stuff, known screen names. How are they connected? Then you add his compatriots, the people you know that associate with him. Dave Johnson, Michael Yak, Ernie Gygax, Jeff Leeson, people that you definitively know, for lack of a better term, are in bed with him socially. And then you put those down.
Did you go and make links like, so I've got this alt over here that commented on this alt over here, and so we know who this alt is. So, so you've done that.
Oh, I've done all that.
That spider was like really intense, and I have a copy of it, but I'm like,
well, that's the thing. The last one I think I sent you was about a year ago.
Oh,
I
yeah?
actually have one now that is so big. If I print it out in 12-point font, no, the chart is 3 foot tall by 5.5 foot long.
Jeez.
And it's literally 12-point font. And I mean, I'm talking about, I break it all down by known, where they at, what is the account, what is the username, what is the email attached to that username, what is the other things attached to that email, and how are they attached. And that's where you get them. When you take a look at a person, like, okay, I'm going to talk about known things. You take Don Samora. Then you take donsamora@gmail.com, which is my well-known main email. Then you start looking at, okay, well, Don Samora's Twitter account uses that. Boom. Well, who is commenting on Don's Twitter account to the positive? And then you start doing some backtracking. And not with me, but with this, what I found was, it's amazing how Michael Yak and Dave Johnson are a common theme, because they use, Michael Yak has at least 8 known emails that I know of, And Johnson has, I have a list here. Yak has 8 known emails. Dave Johnson has 26 known emails. What's that?
How many emails does Dave Johnson have?
26.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because Tammy dug into him real deep.
Yeah.
Ooh, how many you got, Tammy?
Shower after.
She felt so dirty she took a shower afterwards.
Well, the thing is, and then you can start seeing little things that give their away. Like Dave Johnson has a panache for neo-Nazis and Asian young girls.
Correct.
Right.
It's true. I'm not knocking them.
It's disgusting.
Yes, it's very, very disgusting.
The
Michael
younger
Yak.
part of him.
Michael Yak has a panache for very, very what he claims is patriotic, but that Civil War era, rebel flag is the savior of our type stuff.
Jefferson Davis, even though he dressed in a dress and tried to run
Yes.
away, was a
Yes.
great man. No, he's
Exactly.
he's what.
David, no, you did not, but thank you for warning me earlier and let me get out on time on one of Michael's black Learjets. I appreciate that. So, but
Wait. Bad Mike doesn't even like to fly. What's he doing with a black Learjet? Oh, caught you.
you're catching me in my lies. Okay, fine, it was Eric's. Okay, I'm trying to hide my money, man.
From all that stolen drug money from the NYPD, right? He paid for that Learjet.
Oh, and don't forget the $500,000.
The $500,000. Oh, that's right. You stole $500,000 from what account was that?
Cooper Mail.
Oh, Copper Mail, yeah. Copperhead.
My wife's in the door because my youngest cat is getting along with my older cat finally.
Yay!
The new kitten. But the thing is but that's how you connect them, guys, is you go ahead and you just very calmly sit down and you just start listing out. I usually start with an alpha and then you list all their accounts, social media, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and then you do things like you'll find out, like I found out under Yak, Yak was running Southern Gin 99, but they do similar things. Southern Gin 99, 99 Southern Gin. They tend to try to keep their names very close. Like I'll tell you right now who I believe Revenge Chad was. I think Revenge Chad's Vince, the evil DM. I do.
I've thought that for a while.
It's the only person that doesn't get knocked. It's the only person, and see, this is the commonalities you gotta look for. You look for who a person's attacking, but more loudly you look for who is that person mentioning but not attacking. Because let's face it, if you create a fake account, you don't want to go in. I mean, okay, I'll pick on me because you were. I'll use the nasty words towards me. If I create a fake account, I'm not going to make fun of my dead daughter.
Right.
Okay. So, that's what you look for. You look for, oh, this account talks nothing but favorably about Don. It's like he's knocked my daughter. He's called me a pedo. He's called you a pedo. You would never go and start an online account and call yourself a pedo.
He obsesses about pedos. He does.
I wonder why.
Why
when you lay in bed with a freaking neo-Nazi and another guy who's been arrested federally for human trafficking, Michael Yak.
Well, I don't know if this
public knowledge
has any bearing, but my favorite quote from Shakespeare is, "Methinks the woman doth protest too much."
Real quick, Parasocial Audience says, this feud does seem to have an audience of 7 or so. You know what? I get where you're coming from, but I'm going to tell you right now. You want to, and I'm just going to put this blunt. You know what? I'm a big boy. I'm a grown-ass man. You want to attack me personally? Okay, whatever. You know what I mean? But you go after my wife or you go after my kids, I don't care if there's an audience of 1 or 700, you're going to get my claws.
Well, I also think what he's doing is that when he shotguns these posts out there, it's about putting out enough that when somebody does a Google search on you, they get one of these and they go, "Oh, wait a minute."
Yeah. That's why it's important to remove them. Like with you, you have no there is no reason for you to have that type of nasty shit out there about you calling you a pedophile. Because I'll put something on the record right now for everybody to see. That man sitting here right next to me, I would trust him with any of my kids alone. Period. End of story. You know, I would trust him with my wife alone. Period. End of story. And if anyone wants to run their mouth about my friend here, get off my damn Facebook page and unfriend me. I don't want you on my page.
Yeah.
Because I know him.
Yeah.
I'll stand. I mean, I'm sorry. I just, this type of stuff gets me because they use key words for a reason. They want to throw the finger of pedophilia out because they know that gets a visceral reaction with people.
Reaction.
You know? And it's unfair because what they do is, like you said, they shotgun blast it. And that's what this account does. They'll crop up. They'll do like 10, 15 posts and they go away for a few days.
Yeah.
Then they crop up and do 6 more and go away.
And I've had there's been a lot of people out there who've been like, Tom,
see you later, Senator Shadow.
You know, hey, Senator Shadow, it's good talking with you. People have been like, Tom, move on. You know, when you had, you know, Dawn, you had situations where the lawyers were sometimes saying, Dawn, please don't. And yet Eric was muzzled because of the court case against him. I was like, no, I've got to carry the torch. And, you know, because this kind of thing, you know, and the other principle is that from the Bible, quote from the Bible, a prophet is not accepted in his own hometown. Jesus said that. And, you know, so it's like, Don can be like, no, I'm not no. It's much better if I say, listen, I know this guy. He's not a pedo. He's not what this means. He's not the criminal, you know, that I defend him. And so that's why I've carried the torch and I've been like, nope, I'm going to stand here and I'm going to defend Dawn. I'm going to defend Eric.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question here publicly in front of everybody that's going to put this whole pedophilia argument to bed. Tom, can you please tell me, do you have any type of volunteer or work at a school? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, bingo, there it is. Folks, my wife's a teacher. Every year, my wife has an FBI finger background check. And why do they do fingerprint FBI? Because
working with kids in the school, your fingerprint background check. And
that's right. So discussion's over with. There's no way he would ever, even if he was investigated for it, there's no way he'd be around.
And this wife would never, ever.
Actually, Tammy's scary at how good she does a deep dive on you.
I deep dived before I met
you. And like when we met online, and I was like, hey, and you know, through a online.
You play Star Frontiers?
Online dating site. She checked me out. She did it. I
did a deep dive.
She did a deep dive. She is really good at the private eye stuff from an online perspective, and she knew all my crap.
You know, the bottom line is this, and there's something that everybody should admit, but most people don't. Look, you know, everybody has things they've done in the past. They look back and go, you know, I really wish I could have done different. I really wish I could have made better decisions with my life. Deeply, I have those, okay? But, you know, it's called, what do you do in the now? How do you treat people in the now? And, you know, are you willing to admit your wrongs and admit and truly regret them, you know, and do better? Like my dad used to say, you know what? Everyone has problems. Do better, boy. Do better, son. You know, learn from them. And that's the problem with people like VGAPMI 1895. They're not willing to look back and go, you know what? Not only am I wrong for the things I've done, because they don't believe they are wrong. They double down and they do more heinous shit. They do more horrible things. Because it's almost like it's a contest with them. Well, how can I outdo yesterday?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, since you talked about you brought up the school, you know, I'm helping out with a teacher who runs a D&D club, and so let's transition
Jealous I am.
to something a little more, palate cleanser.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be, we're having field day here at the end of school. And so I'm going to be helping out as a game master with a bunch of students, and going to be running a 3-hour game. And then there's a group of students who are leaving, and those that are left, we're going to reorganize and redo whatever. And I will then I will move on for another 3 hours. So 6 hours of dungeon mastering.
Yeah, that's cool.
With some kids, and so I'm adapting everything to 5e rules. So my hypocrisy knows no bounds.
Good job.
I have been like, I hate 5e. But this is what the kids know. They know 5e. So,
yeah,
we're going to do 5e. And I'm just adapting this game for 5e. It's going to be sci-fi. And it's material I wrote for Star Frontiers, but we're just going to adapt it for 5e. And I brilliantly, I was sitting there one day, having my coffee, and the kids are taking a test, and I just got thinking, I'm like, oh, I know how to do this, where it's completely, you could take a Star Frontiers character and convert them right into 5e, and then you could take the 5e character and take them right back into Star Frontiers. And it's like seamless. And I'm like, so once you put the Star Frontiers character in 5e, you use 5e rules.
Mm-hmm.
And, the kids know them. I don't have to teach them much. I just teach them a little bit about the setting, give them their starfighter, and, let them go blow stuff up in space.
But the nice thing about that is what you're doing is you're fostering another generation of players.
Well, we're a little bit concerned because there's a whole crop of students in this D&D club who are going to the next school up.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're losing them. And there was a little bit of concern. The teacher who runs this D&D club, she was like, I says, I don't know. I think it might be easy. But I got thinking about it. I says, I'm going to give them all a starfighter and let them take the starfighter out like they are warriors in Battlestar Galactica. Mm-hmm. Strap on your starfighter, strap on your X-Wing, your TIE fighter, and go out and do battle. And you know what? I'm going to tell them, look, 5 kills and you're an ace. I doubt anybody's going to get 5 kills in that 6-hour period.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just enough opportunity for people to get close. So you know what I think they're going to do? I think come next September, they're going to be like, when are we playing that game again?
Well, my suggestion is this, is if you can, if you have like a small block of rules that you can type up, give it to them in a PDF as like a gift, mm-hmm. and encourage them when they go up to the middle school or the junior high, whatever, that they continue and play and teach others to play that game. And you might have little pockets, people. Calvinoni says, all right, you fine fellas, stay frosty. Cal, have a good night. Thank you for tuning in.
Oh, we're coming in an hour anyways.
Yeah, we're about ready to wrap up.
Leave on that note. Hey, so I'm very excited about this. I'm one to publish it as a, I don't know. I think I might strip out any Star Frontiers reference out of it and run it as a general sci-fi scenario, mm-hmm. and publish it that way. And then maybe some publisher out there might decide they want to pick it up. Mm-hmm. Who knows? And then like the rules mod that I've come up with, I think I can flesh that out, and it'll be very seamless back. I think because honestly, the 900-pound gorilla in the room is 5e rules. We've got to accept that. And if you want new players to come in, you got to appeal to them. And
you've got to be able to adapt it, because whether you like it or not, that's the flavor of the day.
And I love my fellow frontiersmen who are grognards. They're sticks in the mud. I love some of them so much. If I say something out of line, they're like, you were wrong. That's not what the rules say. And they call me on it. And I love that. I absolutely do love that. And I think they're great. They don't have to play 5e rules. But
you can adapt.
You got to appeal to a new crop of players and bring them into the hobby. Bring them into Star Frontiers. And, that's what we got to do.
Yep. Well, Hand of Doom says, I got a question. What is the status of WizardCon? All right. WizardCon scheduled for July 19th to 21st. We all know that. I have ran into some unique challenges with the venue because of some email communications they've been getting. So we had to jump through a lot of hoops. Just in the last week, I thought we were going to get everything ironed out, and they hit us with an insurance increase. We got to get a larger amount of insurance. So to the individual who was emailing them, it worked a little bit. You're causing extra money and inconvenience, but I'm expecting us, I'm hoping tomorrow to have the final release, which will go live on the Kellogg Arena website for tickets and also on our tabletop events page. So,
And I'm planning on running Star Frontiers at WizardCon.
absolutely, hopefully.
In fact, I'm using the kids as a play test.
Good deal.
Not
And Gunther the Mad says, everyone be sure to like the video before you leave, help the channel grow. Yes, and everybody, please, if you could, hit the subscribe button on this channel, please, because we are trying to grow the channel. And if you hit a like, it doesn't cost you nothing. Subscribe and like. It helps our algorithm, helps us meet YouTube's standard. And maybe we can get this channel going a little bit more and better than what we have. And also, you're going to be seeing this streamed on Tabletop Tap Room's YouTube. Go ahead and hit a like and subscribe there. You also see it on Wizard Tower Games' YouTube. Please hit a like, subscribe if you want. But the big one is, please, Vlog of Many Things, hit that like and subscribe button. Much appreciated. And Gunther, thank you for bumping it and reminding me. I got to put a sticky note for now on. Yeah. But Tom, it's been an hour, man.
Yeah, it's been an hour. That's always our target.
Yep, an hour it is. So everybody, again, thank you for tuning into our video. The comments is what gets us to continue to talk and to kind of steer us in a direction.
And we like hanging out anyways.
Yep. And there's something we don't normally do, I'd like to do here is if anybody has an idea for a show, if you have an idea of things you want to see, you can either make a comment down below or you can email us at thevlogofmanythings@gmail.com. And go ahead and say, I want a show on this. And me and Tom will be happy to look it over because we're always looking for material. And the goal here is we'd like to be able to start scheduling out longer where like there's at least a 4 or 5 day warning on videos coming up and what they're going to be. So again, everyone, thank you. I am Don.
And I'm Tom.
And this is the Vlog of Many Things signing off, everybody. Have yourselves a good weekend. And by the way, all you people down North Texas RPG Con, Eric, Bad Mike, and the rest, have a good time. And by the way, thank you for flying me out on your Learjet, Eric and Bad Mike. Much appreciated. So
those Texas Rangers couldn't mind.
That's right. So everyone, we'll talk to you later.